Welcome to round 3 of the IMBA tournament. At the top right of the map we've got Anaryl Aeon going for a land factory 3 power generators, and at the bottom of the map we have Chevalier, Seraphim, land factory, 3 power generators, 2 mass extractors, 3 power generators and an air factory. As we can see, this map is called Eye of the Storms, quite a normal 4v4 map, also it's normal 2v2 map, 4v4 4 player, but also renowned for being in the ranked 1v1 areas. So we'll see how this turns out. Both players are very good, both players are quite decent. As we can see, Chevalier in the last match just got out-tacticked by Rambo and lost. Anaryl, I don't think I've cast yet, so we'll see how this plays out. Anaryl's going for the same tactic that Chevalier has. A note of point on this map, you see this little thing here, this little Aeon thing that looks like a lamppost with 3 lights. That little thing is a bucket of mass, absolutely fully loaded of mass. As we can see, Anaryl is building 2 mass extractors, telling his other engineers to build the other 2. As we can see, Chevalier is building his power generators and then going for his air factory. So this map is quite big. Basically you can go land, air or sea. Best Aeons are probably the best one because it can go sea, because the land can go over sea. Obviously not as good as Seraphim's sea, but we'll see what happens here. As we can see, got Chevalier, got 2 engineers building the hydrocarbon power plant and got 5 land factories queued. Chevalier's got 1 more power generator to go and he starts his air factory off. As we can see, Anaryl is building 2 more power generators and he'll start with the air factory. As you can see, we've got Anaryl's building hydrocarbon power plant with a land factory, and he's also got 2 scouts going all over the place on this map. We can see we've got a small scouting party of 2 medium tanks followed by a scout going up the right hand side of the map. As we can see, Chevalier is now starting his build on his 5 land factories. Chevalier is now using one of his engineers to build the mass extractor, reclaim the rock and build another mass extractor. Obviously Chevalier is now going to start pushing his SU down the left hand side. As we can see, Chevalier is also starting building his early T1 bomber. And we all know how effective that early T1 bomber is. As we look at Anaryl's base, he's doing the exact same that Chevalier is doing. So I wonder if both players know about this little stick of mass. This lovely stick of mass. Can I see it? Is there a little stick of mass in this side of the map? If there was a stick of mass, looks like Chevalier has already reclaimed it. But Anaryl hasn't. If we have a look at the other positions, is the stick of mass still there? It should be there. Where is it? There it is. So it looks like Chevalier actually reclaimed his stick of mass. So that's a massive boost for him. See, we've also got an early bomber up from Anaryl, currently trying to kill Chevalier, trying to kill Anaryl's Anaryl's scout. Anaryl's got his bomber up. but he wants to get it accompanied by interceptors. So obviously Arnold's pushing that through the top right hand side of the map, while Chevalier is pushing through the bottom left hand side of the map. So this is quite interesting. What are the players going to be doing? Are they going to be rushing land by the looks of it? Anaryl is going to be certainly rushing a lot of land. Probably going to be sea landing them. No, doesn't look like both players haven't gone up for the land naval factory yet, so that's interesting. No naval factories as of yet, as we can see. Anaryl and Chevalier have interceptors up, but obviously Anaryl has two more. Anaryl has one bomber more than Chevalier, as we can see. Anaryl's building a T1 radar just where Chevalier's bombers lurking around. Obviously not good for the engineer nor the bomber, nor the radar. Obviously the bomber is now released it. We look in close to see the boom. As we can see, that engineer just got blown to bits. As we can see an engineer. As we can see, Chevalier's got an engineer building the 3 mass extractors on that side. As we can see, the Anaryl has got one lone Aurora, probably a scouting Aurora. But Anaryl does have a lot more units than Chevalier, so obviously Arnold's going to start be pushing through the middle. As we can see, both players have gone for the reclaiming the trees and the big bulks. As we can see, it's a fight for the middle, so obviously if looks like Anaryl has noticed that Chevalier has an engineer in the middle. Obviously this has turned out to be an air fight and a sea demolisher. As we can look at the middle left of the map, we've got Anaryl with his ACU ready to pounce on 2 medium tanks of Chevalier's. Anaryl does have 6 land factories up very soon, with the 8th to be built. Obviously Anaryl is now pushing his hoverbots down the left hand side of the map, and then obviously Anaryl still has a T1 bomber in the air, but Chevalier does have air superiority. Well, he doesn't have air superiority, but he does at the moment because Anaryl isn't doing anything with his air to kill Chevalier's air. As we can see, Chevalier is pushing on the left hand side of the map and getting his SU into the bottom left base, building a land factory. So obviously, as we can see, Anaryl is now really producing a lot of land. A lot more than he should. A lot more. No, let's have a look. No, Anaryl does have more mass income, and Chevalier is sucking on mass income. So obviously Chevalier's got a mass problem. Looks like that's due to Anaryl because he's sniping away at the mass points of Chevalier because they're not protected in any way, shape or form. As we can see, Chevalier has got quite a land mass at the top right of the map, but Anaryl has quite a massive land presence in all other regions of the map. As we can see, Anaryl has a scout and 4 warriors currently pushing down the down the right hand side of the map from the bottom. Obviously, Anaryl's now noticed that there's a D1 point defence currently shooting at his scout. Now he's backed off that assault. So obviously Chevalier has now got 5 engineers assisting the air factory of Chevalier, but now Arnold's got a T1 bomber that's done a mid-air stop and hightailing it to a different area, which will get shot down because it's in quick pursuit of T1 interceptors. And there it goes. Nope. Chevalier backed off killing Arnold's bomber. Why did he back off killing Arnold's bomber? Well, obviously that's going to cause him. So that's going to cause Chevalier quite a lot of problems. A bomber with 1 HP survived. Obviously, that'll be quite an interesting talking point. How Chevalier did not kill a T1 bomber. Obviously, T1 bomber is now is now being shot down without releasing a bomb. So obviously that failed anyway. As we can see, Arnold currently has map. Oh no! At the top of the map, Chevalier is currently pushing with quite a big Seraphim force against Arnold's Aurora force, but obviously the Auroras have got better range and can move a lot faster. Obviously, Arnold's Aurora force is currently in quick retreat, killing the T1 tanks of Chevalier. As we can see on the bottom right hand side of the map, we've got Chevalier with a massive Aurora force currently killing other mess points of Chevalier. We've got 5 Auroras assaulting Chevalier's right forward operating base. Obviously they got quickly demolished as it's his base. As we look on the left hand side, Chevalier is pushing up the left hand side of the map, so obviously once Arnold sees he's pushing up the left hand side of the map, he'll start killing him. Arnold is now starting to go in for a T1 naval factory, so this is going to be quite interesting. Chevalier has now regained air superiority and is now producing bombers. Obviously these bombers will start causing havoc again. As you see, he's just killed 4 land units of Arnold's with that first pass. As we can see on the left hand side of the map, Chevalier is now pushing the Auroras back of Arnold. Doesn't have much land support, Chevalier, when he's pushing Arnold up. Obviously, Chevalier is now starting to go into the water, but in case that happens, Arnold should start producing T1 subs. Obviously, start producing subs, he can start assaulting Chevalier a lot faster and a lot better. Obviously, the small attack force that Arnold had versus Chevalier on the right hand side of the map is just currently being wiped out completely. So Chevalier did win that little fight. Obviously they got 3 artillery shells, just wiped out 2 units while the bomber wiped out the other one. Obviously that bomber is now going to get killed by 2 interceptors of Arnold's. It's not going to get air support in time to stop it from being killed now. As we can see, that bomber got killed. As we can see, Chevalier is still pushing up Arnold's left flank, but Arnold is well aware of this and is starting to mass his land units to start an assault Chevalier's SEU. As we can see, as intended, Arnold is now starting producing T1 subs. So obviously, even though Chevalier's got in the water, he'll start getting torpedoed to hell. As we can see, Arnold's got another small strike force coming down the bottom left hand side of the map, currently killing all known mass points that they can in existence. Obviously, Chevalier is currently being assaulted and pounded by a lot of Auroras and a T2 hover tank, so obviously that's going to cause a big massive dent in Chevalier's ACU's hull. Obviously, Chevalier is now down to 5,800 when the T1 sub gets built. That T1 sub will now start to kill Chevalier, so Chevalier's in major danger. As long as Anaryl can keep presence around Chevalier's ACU, Anaryl has won this game. Obviously that's gonna be fantastic. As we can see, Chevalier's now backed out of the water because he knows he's lost this. So Anaryl's going to start killing all and all his units here. So just for the fun, let's do this. Let's watch Chevalier's ACU get absolutely pounded to hell. 100, and there goes Chevalier's ACU. So a good game to Chevalier and Anaryl, congrats being winner. There is a round 4 going on, so when I find a cast of that, I will cast it and show you it. Thank you for watching.